Hey guys, Watson here, back with another review slash achievement talk for, this time, Final Fantasy II. So, Final Fantasy II obviously is the sequel to Final Fantasy, and with the Pixel Remasters having come to Xbox, I obviously picked them up on launch and decided that I was going to 100% them all. I've done quite a few of the Final Fantasy games at this point. There's only a couple that I've not 100%ed, and I will continue to 100% them going forward. But yeah, let's talk about Final Fantasy 2. So with this one, Square decided to actually add characters to the game rather than them just being like generic jobs. So like in the first game there was like warrior, red mage, white mage, that sort of thing. Whereas in this one, you've got specific characters. So the majority of the game, you've got Firion, Maria, and Guy. I think the names were. It's been a while since I played it. Fairly certain that's right. And then the fourth slot was always taken up by a guest character. As you progress through the game, there's various different characters that come in and take the place of the fourth slot. Usually because the character that is in the fourth slot ends up dying. There's quite a few deaths of characters in this one. They really went to town with like the story and stuff. Obviously, it's the old cliche of the evil empire decides to take over the world sort of thing. It added a few more tropes to the series as well. I think there were chocobos in this one. There was definitely an airship. They definitely added airships. I don't think it was in the first one. Obviously, airships have been a thing in Final Fantasy for quite a while. The main thing with this one was the level up system. So there wasn't like a traditional sort of level 1 to 99 level up system. This one was mostly based on weapons. So using certain weapons, you could level them up and they would do more damage and stuff like that. But also doing certain things in battle would level your stats up. So if you use magic, it improved your magic stat. If you used physical attack, it would boost your strength. So that was a really different way of approaching the game and kind of making the game a little bit more unique. I know a lot of people don't seem to like that system, but I thought it was like I genuinely thought it was pretty okay. I think it probably helped with this one that I used the boosters as well, so it kind of got the characters buffed up to a point where it was fairly simple anyway. It did start to get more difficult to level the weapons up as you kind of progressed on. The way that they did it was that each enemy had a number, I think it was 1 to 7, to kind of give them an idea of how strong the enemy was. And the stronger the enemy, the more weapon experience you got. And then once it got to like the sort of higher levels of the weapons, I think it was like 12 to 16, it would take multiple like level 7 enemies before you would level up. Which, for the time, I mean, that must have been like a really difficult thing to try and code in. So, yeah, major props to them for that one. That was must have been very difficult. But yeah, generally, like, you can see that there's a vast improvement in like the story, character development, adding the various different tropes and stuff to the game. Like, it really made the series like a heck of a lot better than the first title. Obviously, Final Fantasy 2 and 3 never came out of Japan until much later on. Final Fantasy 3 itself didn't actually come to Europe until the DS version, which was a remake, I believe. My information is correct. If it's not, then someone can tell me I'm wrong in the comments. But yeah, my time with Final Fantasy 2, again, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the series. I'm a big fan. Like, I'm always going to enjoy playing these games. So yeah, let's talk about the achievements. So the achievements, once again, this is pretty much copy and paste the Final Fantasy 1. So you've got defeat 100 monsters. The rebellion commenced against the Palamecian Empire. So, yeah, as I stated before, like, the general story is basically evil empire tries to take over the world and you've got to stop them. Oh, pardon me. 10,000 gil, 300 monsters, 10% of the bestiary, 500 monsters. The Empire destroyed numerous towns with the Dreadnought. So, there's a point in the game where the Empire gets their hands on like a massive airship. And yeah, it basically destroys a couple of towns. 50,000 gil, 10% of the treasure chest, 100,000 gil. And then you go and destroy the Dreadnought. You get a ship from the pirate Layla. So we're introducing like the various different characters, as you can see from the achievement tiles. You've got like Joseph there for the Dreadnought. You've got Layla. I think his name was Edward. Might be getting that wrong. Defeat Commander Gotos and reclaim Castle Finn. 50% of the bestiary entries, 50% of the chests. Allies with Rickard the Dragoon, so this introduces the Dragoons, which obviously it's a job that comes back again and again in Final Fantasy games. It's a recurring job. Hatched the last Wyvern egg. The Dark Knight ascended the Emperor's throne, so you learn that eventually that the Dark Knight is the friend of like the group, Leon, and brother to Maria. Level 1 magic spell up to level 16. So the easiest way to actually get this achievement in particular is to use healing magic. Every time your characters are obviously damaged and whatnot, heal them with a healing magic, and there you go. Past allies join the rebel army. That's I believe his name is Leon in the picture there. Learn all the passwords. So there was a password system in the game. It says password. Basically, there's certain words that are a different colour when talking to people, and you can learn these words. And then if you ask certain people about these words, then they usually give you a little bit more information about that particular word. So say if I mention Dragoon, the character would then give me a little bit of lore about the Dragoons, which again was quite an interesting way of doing the sort of development for the story and stuff, because obviously like the extra code and all that carry on that actually goes into it. Like normally if you talk to this person, they might say hello, how are you, and then if you say Dragoon, they'll like then have the lore for the Dragoons. So that was pretty neat. Excalibur again, level 1 weapon to skill level 16, which I explained earlier. Travel to all the map locations. I believe there was a couple of locations in this one that one you couldn't go back to, so you kind of had to make sure you got all the treasure chests the first time through. And on top of that, I think there was like one or two locations that you had to kind of go to beforehand so that you didn't miss them. I think you were locked out places. Not sure. I know that was definitely a thing for 3. 100% of the treasure chests, 100% of the bestiary entries, and defeat the Emperor and restored peace to the world. But yeah, the main thing to watch out for in this one is that there are areas you can't go back to, so you need to make sure that you get all of the bestiary entries and all of the treasure chests sort of as you go through the first time round. But yeah, that was my little Final Fantasy 2 ramble / achievement talk. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.